What's going on, guys? My name is Chris and welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing the first unboxing, first impressions, hands-on video of the channel. You're probably thinking, what's the point of doing unboxings? There's nothing in there now. Well, kind of true for Apple and Samsung products especially, but there are some products out there still now that do have more than just the phone inside the box. So that's what we've got here today. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So today we're doing an unboxing and first impressions of the Honor 70. Now, if you don't know much about Honor as a brand, they're basically Huawei's sister company that can use the Google Play Store. And there's a lot of emphasis on the camera tech here, using the latest Sony IMX800 sensor. So I'm very interested to see what this phone can do for the price point, and obviously see what's inside the actual box. So without further ado, let's take a look. So let's take a look what's actually inside the box. Now, I have made a little slit here just so we can actually get it open easy enough. And let's just see what's inside this bad boy. Now, a couple of little key specifications here. There is 3 colours on offer. We have a black, green and a white. They are more complicated names than that, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to go with black, white and green. There's the phone, we'll put that aside for now. Little insert. Obviously then we have our little SIM card ejection tool. What else we got in here? We have a couple of manuals, which are basically useless, and we do have a little case in here, which is quite handy. Little just a normal case, just on the side there, if you can see that. That's nice to have, get you started. Probably not the best thing to keep the thing actually protected over time, but it's good to have in the box. What else we got in here? We've got a USB-C cable, which has got a normal USB end there, 2.0, and then a USB-C connection this side. And then in the box, which is a rarity nowadays, we do have a 66 watt fast charger. So it's nice to see inside the box. That should charge the phone pretty damn quick. Let's just take a look at that if I can get it open. Yes, there it is. 66 watt fast charging, which is good because we don't have wireless charging or anything like that on board, so definitely need that bad boy. Let's have a quick look at the actual phone itself now. Let's open this up. So as you can see, I've got the black version here. You can probably see already this thing is going to be an absolute fingerprint magnet, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it is what it is. That's what you get with these kind of glossy back phones. I hate these stickers they put on the backs. Let's get rid of that. So there you have it. That's the actual rear of the device. I'll do a couple of little B-roll shots anyway so you can see it closely. That's the back of the device, and there's the front of the phone. First impressions actually in the hand, it does feel quite nice. It's much lighter than I anticipated because the size is it's quite a large phone, but it's actually quite light in the hand, which I commend them for that. And we do got obviously the cameras up top here. I believe there's actually only 2 cameras, so I'm quite confused why I can see 3 there. I'm guessing one might be a depth sensor. As far as I'm aware, there is just 2 cameras on board, a main and a ultra wide, but we'll get more into that detail in a second. But overall first impressions, lightweight, feels nice in the hand, not too sharp corners, does have that slightly cheaper feel compared to more premium smartphones, because I guess this is obviously probably plastic on the back, or could be glass finish, to be fair, could be glass. Yeah, I think it looks quite smart, to be honest. So with the unboxing out of the way, guys, let's take a look at some of the key specifications. So first and foremost, we have a glass front, glass rear and an aluminium shell going around the device. There's worth noting there's no mention anywhere of Gorilla Glass protection on any of the glass panels on this phone, so just bear that in mind. And there's also no IP certification for water and dust protection, so keep it away from both of those elements. Up front, 6.67 inch Full HD OLED panel with 120Hz refresh rate. Inside the device, we've got the Snapdragon 778G Plus, which is a well-known mid-range kind of processor, performs well day-to-day use and pretty well in gaming, to be honest, but I'll leave that for my full review. Storage wise, 128 gigs on board with the one I've got here for the cheapest model with 8 gigabytes of RAM. They do options that go up to 256 gig with 8 gig of RAM again. Then they have 2 more options that have 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's a 256 gig storage or 512 gigabytes of storage. I personally can actually find those here in the UK. I can only find 128 and 256, both with 8 gigabytes of RAM, so that could be market dependent, so keep an eye on that. In regards to cameras, we do have 3 on the back, but one is a 2 megapixel depth sensor, so not really something you can actually use as a dedicated camera. The main sensor is the new Sony IMX800. It's a 54 megapixel sensor with f1.9 aperture with autofocus but no image stabilization, so bear that in mind. The ultra-wide for this price point is actually quite impressive, 50 megapixels. It's 122 degrees of view, and it's f2.2 aperture. There is autofocus on board as well, but I'm yet to test if that can actually do macro shots as well. But again, I'll leave that to the full review. Video, you can shoot 4K 30 frames per second as a maximum frame rate, or 1080p at 60 frames per second. Again, no image stabilization on board, but you can use electronic image stabilization. Up front with the selfie camera, 32 megapixels, f2.4, and again capable of 1080p at 30 frames per second as the max video. It is worth noting that there is no 3.5mm headphone jack on board, and there is no wireless charging, so 2 things that you can get at this price point, so bear that in mind. Fingerprint sensor wise, we have an under display optical sensor. And when we look at the battery, we've got a 4,800 milliamp battery. Again, no wireless charging. We do have 66 watts of fast charging, which again is included inside the box, and that gives you 60% charge in just 20 minutes. And if you do need it, there is also 5 watt reverse charging to kind of give a family member or a friend a boost of juice via cable. So that's it, guys. That's the unboxing and kind of first hands-on impressions of the device. I'm not going to turn it on and start playing around with it right now because I want to leave that for my full 1-week review, which again, please do subscribe to the channel to see that. It'll be up in about a week and a half's time. But overall, I think for the specifications you're getting here and the overall feel in the hand, what you get in the box, I think this is quite a compelling phone for the price point. There is some heavy competition at this kind of price range. That's the only problem. One of the key ones is the Google Pixel 6a. That's a phone that I definitely would want to see this head-to-head against and see which one comes out on top. Another phone is the Samsung A53. You can get that slightly cheaper than this phone as well now because it's been out a bit longer. And the Nothing Phone 1, slightly more expensive but offers something a little bit different. So yeah, it looks like a promising device, but I'll leave that for my full review. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop any comments below of any kind of recommendations of phones you want me to look at and review. I have got 2 other phones in the pipeline I'm going to do reviews on as well very shortly. One of them is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, which I've had for just over a week now. So look out for that. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.